brought some of the coins and bills that are illustrated in the book, and I wanted to share them with you. Uh, this one has perfit, a word I learned researching for this book. Perfit are holes that are punched through paper, and they say NYCPD, and they give us a code letter number system. It says evidence, if presented, notify the New York City Police Department. Wow. So I would like it if you would get your DNA on this, so I'm not alone with that. That was I used to be a waterfront instructor at a summer camp, and one of my campers teaches at collegiate school on the Upper West Side today, and one of his students' fathers had a pizzeria, heard about my proclivities, and donated this bill. We're not quite sure how the pizzeria got this back after it was confiscated by the police, but we haven't asked. Another bill that's taught me a lot is this faded one that my mom would say, "What are you keeping that for? Just go get a bag of chips, spend it." I said, "No, Ma, I like it. Just get rid of it." I said, "Ma, you remember that shirt you bought me? It was so beautiful, but I didn't like it because the collar was scratchy and bothersome. And now it's been washed and worn quite a bit, and I love it." I said, I like this for that worn feeling. It's been to the beach, it's been through some bleach, and I thought it was all faded. And then one day, right here, waiting for a group to come, I said, "It's not all faded. The black ink on the front is faded, but the green ink and this black ink, the seal of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, is not faded. And the 4 numeral ones are not faded." How can that be? How could nobody sat there with a bleach pen and I've learned that our money is magnetic. Not enough to stick to a refrigerator, but enough that a magnet detector can find it. It's against the law to leave the nation with more than $10,000 in undeclared cash. They don't have to open your suitcase. There's enough magnets in there to set off alarms at the airport or at the borders. So there's 2 different kinds of black ink, at least, in the bill. And ink is one of the great technological open fields. If you go online and look, the feds are offering contracts for people who can devise new inks, trackable, traceable inks. So ink is one way that the ordinary person wouldn't know what's going on, but the people in charge would be able to tell things. This is an unusual one, and people think it's fake, but it's not. It's real. It was shrunk by artists using a special heat and water process. I bought it at the Whitman Museum of American Art. I paid $8 and change for it. I've often asked people in programs like this, would you take it for a bag of chips? One guy from Philadelphia had the funniest answer. He said, "Yeah, I'd take it, but I wouldn't give you the chips." It's interesting how much people like to play with the money. Yeah, we like what it does, but people turn it into jewelry. They make art from it. And I'm fortunate to work at Franklin Furnace Archive, and there's about 20 artists whose work is included in the book. One of the ones that still gives me pause is the artist Peggy Diggs. Was a professor at Williams College. She's now retired. She did social art. She didn't make paintings or sculpture. She did things and sent them into the general public and hoped they would change things for the better for people. My favorite project of hers, she put information on the battered spouse helpline onto milk cartons. If you're a battered spouse, your spouse is not letting you out of the house. not letting you have internet access. But here in the milk bottle, someone might be able to find a number and call for help. On $1 bills, she stamps some pretty powerful statements. In what ways has money hurt you? When did you last choose ethics over money? And my favorite, what do you think is gained in poverty and lost through wealth? It's a hard question, but if you ask kids from the inner city this question, and I've done it a lot, you get answers like family, love. It's good work, I think. In the audience today is a person who alters coins. I won't reveal their identity, but that person, I didn't want to say he or she, gave me what I now think is my Olympic medals. I got the gold, the silver, and the bronze all in one. It's coins that have been changed, their color's been changed through scientific processes. Another artist, when she heard about my collection, reached down onto the floor of her studio. She knew it had been there a long time, and peeled off the canvas floor cover a quarter that's splattered with paint from her work. It's pretty to me. And my favorite of all still is corrosion, patina. It's really interesting. The coin collecting world has a dichotomy. You want something mint condition, brand new, fresh from Philadelphia or Denver, or maybe even West Point, where they make even finer quality coins. But yet, patina is prized, and you're not supposed to clean your coin. So if you have an old coin and it's a little bit brown, leave it. If you clean that up with some silver polish, you destroyed part of the value of that coin. I like the corrosion. The Greeks called verdigris, the French called it verdigris, it's verdigris. The Greeks prized a paint made with copper corroded. So the Statue of Liberty came one day, and it was like a 2015 penny, bright and shiny and alluring. And today, it's green, and we know it is green. And if they cleaned it up like they cleaned Trinity Church down the block, Trinity Church, when I came to New York, was black and imposing. I know it was dirty, but I didn't know it was dirty. It just looked like black stone. They cleaned it up, and I lost a little bit. If they clean the Statue of Liberty, don't tell me about it, please. So thank you very much for listening, and I'm happy if you have comments, corrections, questions. Yes. They're worth nothing, because if it's not for sale, there's no market. I can't. You know, I have them. They're part of me. They say that the most intimate relationship a person can have with an artifact is ownership. And the minute I sell them, so it's like I said, it's my rainy day reserve. It's going to my son someday. Please help him. Yes. No, but as Kristen said, the money room upstairs is just fantastic. I haven't spent enough time. Not only do they have, is it 300 bills or more? About 250 bills, but each one you can go online, at home, here, anywhere you can plug in and tap and scroll and magnify and look at specific details. So they're mine. I work here. Anyone can come here. So I feel that sharing these things is just so great for inspiring people. Mr. Shankman was here at the opening, and I got a piece of him for a second. There's one bill. It's from Texas, and there's a slice in it, a very thin slice, and then a triangle. A perfect triangle has been punched out of the bill. And I said, most of his are in great condition. Really, he does not buy a bill if it's been folded. Gee, I've never had a bill that I didn't fold or at least crumple. And he said that this was a way to cancel the money. Today, the bills are shredded and composted. But it was such a perfect triangle that we decided that there must have been a tool that punched into the middle of the bill so that not everybody could cancel it that way. And that made me really want the tool that did that. There are differences even in the ones just issued by the United States. Over time, the papers keep changing. I think they're staying ahead of the criminals, and they keep improving. The money is if you go to the moneyworks.com, the website for the Treasury, they will tell you that the money is 75% cotton and 25% linen. Well, linen is a weave. So you can have silk linen, denim linen, wool linen. They don't tell you that it's flax is the type of linen. So they keep information. They're very transparent. They tell you a lot about the money so that you can learn and protect yourself. But they keep information about specific details of composition proprietary. The new 100 has this, it's the coolest feature yet. It's this blue ribbon sewn through the front, yet it does not appear in the back. And when you move it or look at it, it makes me dizzy like I put on someone else's eyeglasses. Well, it turns out there are micro lenses in this plastic strip, hundreds of thousands of micro lenses. So it is like looking through someone else's eyeglasses. The chief counsel for the Bureau of Printing and Engraving is a friend I've known since I was 15. I didn't know he'd gotten that job, and just before I went to publication, the guy who first introduced me to him said, you know, Sid just got a new job. What? I need to teach, I got to talk to him now. So I sent him the pertinent chapters, and he took me to school. They have just changed the regulations protecting our money. It was for many, many years that you had to submit clearly more than 50% of a bill to be reimbursed. Otherwise, Jamie and I might tear a bill in half and each submit it, and then the Fed would be out $1. So, why did you change the rule? Well, we issued the new 100 and right away started seeing counterfeits coming from China, and they were strange. It had this exact strip, it had been pulled out of this, and it had been put into a crummy counterfeit. And I said, well, why would they wreck the good one? And he said, exactly. That's what we thought. It didn't take us long to figure out they're going to submit the bill that's missing the strip for reimbursement because it's clearly more than 50% of the bill. So Sid pushed through. Usually it takes 6 months to change a regulation, but there's a special provision. He was able to push through in 2 months the addition of language along the lines of clearly more than 50% and a Treasury-approved percentage of anti-counterfeiting technologies in the bill. I have, and they're fun to get. David Cowan, the president here, mentioned it. He so happy. He blurbed for the back of my book, and he's in California today, and a lot of us are sad he can't be here, but I'm going to read what he said about Where's George. Where's George is people rubber stamp a bill, then you can go to where'sgeorge.com, and I got this at the gift shop at MOF. Am I doing okay, Alan? And you plug in the serial number, and then you spend it, and the next person plugs in the serial number, says, I got it at the pizza shop on Maiden Lane, and so you can follow the track of your money around the world. So David wrote, and I've known David since freshman year in college, so we were on the lacrosse team together. Our library is full of thousands of books about money and finance, but none like this. Pick up the book and enter the world of Harley Spiller, educator, entrepreneur, eccentric, and enjoy learning about everything from counterfeit currency to banknote errors, debasing to elongating, sawbucks to shrinking, often through personal anecdotes of the author. If you want to know where George really is, he is here in this book. Thank you very, very much.